Hey VC, what's going on? Laz here. And I thought I'd just throw up a quick one today. This is just some recent acquirements. I have way too much to do in one video. This is stuff I've gotten over the past few months, but I thought I'd start with just a handful so I don't make a 2-hour long video. Yeah, let me show some things that I've added in my collection. So first off, I'm going to show this one. This was actually released today, came in today, and I've already spun it a couple times, and one of my favorite bands, definitely one of my favorite power metal bands, as you can tell by the poster back there. I've seen these guys before, I've met them. Big fan of Hammerfall, and this is the new Dominion album. This is a gatefold on black vinyl and released on Napalm Records. They were with Nuclear Blast. I'm not sure why they went to Napalm, yeah, this is the brand new release today. And after a couple spins, my first take on this is straight up Hammerfall. I mean, it's they kind of actually maybe backstepped a little bit, which I'm actually kind of happy for. And that is the, like I said, the black vinyl version. This, to me, sounds like it literally could have come right after Legacy of Kings. Right between, or maybe right around, when they did Renegade. Kind of that era of Hammerfall. Here's the insert. So, couldn't be happier. I was getting a little concerned if Hammerfall was about ready to wrap it up, or if they were going to start to stray a little too far in a different direction, which, some bands are obviously successful when they do that, other bands not so much. But no, this is straight up Hammerfall, man. Straight up Hammerfall. So, Dominion, pick it up. Speaking of Hammerfall, this is borderline a grail piece for me. This I got online. This was a auction, and I was so ecstatic that I won this because it's one of my favorite albums, as by the poster back there. But this is the test pressing for Legacy of Kings, and this is not the test pressing for the original German pressing, which I do have, but this is the test pressing for the reissue, which is this one here, for Back on Black. And the label sells their test pressings on eBay in auction, and there were only 5 test pressings for Legacy of Kings made, and I am so happy I got one, because I kind of geek out over test pressings and the real rare stuff like that on my favorite bands. So that was a killer score to add to the collection. Some guys have shown this recently. This was a band that I was so excited for when I heard these were going to be released on vinyl, and because they originally were not. So couldn't be happier with these, and that is the, I don't want to say reissues, but the reissued on vinyl, I guess, Primal Fear, the first 3 albums. And these are from Nuclear Blast. All 3 are gatefolds. This is the first album, which is a single LP. Gorgeous Nuclear Blast, packaging. Just wonderful stuff. I love the picture of Ralph with hair. But these albums, I was into this band and had everything on CD. In fact, I got a couple of really neat promotional rare CDs. But I was so excited to hear these come out on vinyl. So that's the first album. These are all marbled vinyl. Jaws of Death. The first album is a white and gray marbled vinyl. This is the double LP, and this one's more of an orange. I should have showed the vinyl on the first one, but here's the gatefold. Just love Nuclear Blast. Let's see if I can pull this guy out, just to give you an idea. There you go. So, you know, for those that don't know Primal Fear, Ralph Sheeper's the lead singer, very Rob Halford, Judas Priest. In fact, was considered for Judas Priest at one point, but they decided to go with Ripper Owens. But if you were to take Painkiller by Judas Priest, give it a little shot of steroids, you'd get Primal Fear. So for those that don't know them, definitely, if you don't know who they are, I cannot recommend this band enough, especially if you're into power metal. But if you are into power metal, then you probably already know who they are. So, Jaws of Death, second album. And probably my favorite, I know to their fan base, the first album's kind of the favorite by most. I'm a fan of Nuclear Fire. I love this album. The opening track, Angel in Black, is just classic. Absolutely love this album. This is another 2 LP. Just incredible. Incredible. I'll show the gatefold on this one real quick. There you go. Great shot of the band. Ralph with no hair. And this is also like a deeper orange and red marble. Some black splatted in there. Very cool. Nuclear Blast, just, I love their packaging. These all have inserts as well. But this is definitely a set of 3 that, you know, you often say to yourself, God, I wish this would release on vinyl. Too bad this album came out during the non-vinyl existence, you know. And I'm so happy to see that these companies, whether it's Nuclear Blast, No Remorse Records, they're another one, and hell, even Scott Waters' No Life Till Metal, is actually taking some of these albums and getting them onto vinyl like they should have been in the first place. So these are stated as strictly limited edition. I don't know how true that is. You know, some of these things are and some are not so limited. But these probably won't be around long, so I definitely get them while you can on that. Okay, here's another one. This is one of my biggest addictions right now. You know, sometimes you just get into an album and it's like that's all you listen to for like days on end. Kind of come off it now, but as like I said, this is stuff I picked up over, you know, the past couple months. But this is Empire of the Undead by Gamma Ray, and man, you know, I'm such a huge Kai Hansen fan that you know, I'm almost torn sometimes between, you know, who do I like more, Gamma Ray or Halloween? Halloween probably, because I have more memories built with Halloween, but this album right here, oh my God, just an incredible record. The opening track, Avalon, on here is probably the biggest and most known from the album. It is just a killer track. Gatefold. You know, there's a video. I'll try and link it at the bottom. If I forget to link it, just search it. Just search Gamma Ray Avalon, and there's a live video of them performing it in like a smaller venue. And God, it's amazing. Kai Hansen's vocals in that performance, and it's shot like on a cell phone or something, but you can still hear his vocal performance, and it's just goosebump worthy, man. And that track is just so killer. Gamma Ray, God, Empire of the Undead, awesome double album. So definitely check that out. Now, along the same lines, The other project, Unisonic, okay, Light of Dawn, and this is Kai Hansen back with Michael Kiske. This is basically, Halloween 2.0, and this is killer too. I think between the two, I'm probably more of a fan of the Gamma Ray album over this one. But still, this is killer. Big track on here is the third track, Exceptional. There's a video for it. There's a live video where they perform it live at Wacken. Killer track. Killer track. I mean, these guys have gotten old, but have gotten just so much better. Awesome, awesome album. This is another gatefold. I'll show this one real quick. Get it open. There we go. So, awesome album. This is the second album. They had a EP, and then the first album, and then this one, if I'm not mistaken. Currently, this is the only Unisonic vinyl I have, but I'll definitely be looking for the other ones. Typical killer, Halloween-style power metal. But with current day production, I guess is how I would describe this one. It's so clean, strong, just an incredible album. Incredible album. Very, especially the track Exceptional, very hooky riffs in that. Awesome album. So that's Unisonic. Okay, we are on, let's see, August, right? Mid to late August. So the year is almost over. This album, I literally set the alarm on my phone for the moment, I believe it was 10 a.m. on the date of pre-order. Because I was working that day. Here's a fun little story. I literally set the alarm on my phone for 5 minutes prior, so that I could be ready and place the order for this as soon as it opened up. And I'm so glad I did. There's only 100 copies of this, and this is going to be, unless something comes along quick, this is definitely my pick for album of the year for 2019 when it comes to heavy metal. And that is Burn the Night by Riot City. And this is the blue vinyl edition. There's only 100 copies of this. I'm not sure how many black copies there are. This is on No Remorse Records. Had to order it, from overseas, did the pre-order. And I was talking with Dustin, the bass player, on Facebook. And I literally posted right after I did the order. I mean, I literally watched the order open. I placed my order, went straight to Facebook, and posted on his page that I just ordered this on blue vinyl. And he said, I probably got the first one. Who knows? Okay. But this album is just killer. It's the blue vinyl. And if you are at all into that Judas Priest Painkiller era, these guys take it to another whole new level. This is just a killer album. The vocals on this are insane, clean, high. It's just so good. And in fact, since the release of this, they now have a new vocalist. And when I heard this, I was like, oh God, no, how can they do that? And then they posted a video on their Facebook page of them performing live with their new vocalist. Sounds the same. Sounds the frickin' same. So I was like, oh God, thank God. Because the vocalist was the guitar player. I can't remember his name. Kale Savvy, S-A-V-Y, Kale. But man, you talk about killer riffs, just straight up traditional heavy metal, speed metal, you know, just what a monster of a record. I cannot recommend this high enough. If no one has heard this yet, YouTube it. They're on there. In the Dark, they have a lyric video for that. There's live videos of them. This band's going to go, or at least I sure as hell hope so, because if they make any more albums like this, I'm sold ahead of time. So, and supposedly they are working on the second album already, so good news. So yeah, Burn the Night, Riot City, album of the year as of August 2019, without a doubt. Okay, this last one, this is a grail. This is new wave of traditional heavy metal, I guess. I heard part of a song by this band on someone's video. For the life of me, I cannot remember who it was I was watching, but I heard part of this song, and I immediately, found the MP3s for this, and then immediately went on the hunt for vinyl. And this came out. When did this come out? This was a couple years ago. I'll have to look in a second, but I was immediately drawn to these guys. And when I found out that this literally released, sold out, and that was it, and like you cannot find it anywhere, and I was so that immediately put it to grail status. Like, I've got to find this on vinyl. Okay, and this is Rebels Beyond the Pale by Angel Sword, and this is on red vinyl. And this is number 53 of 100. And here's an interesting story. So sometimes I put decal or stickers on the back here, red, color vinyl, limited numbered. So number 53, so this says number 53 of 300. I'll explain. So I actually found a listing for this with no one having one for sale on Discogs. Added it to my want list, and after a couple weeks, I got an email notification that somebody just posted one. And so I signed on, and I'm going, please be the red one, because it was released in black and red. And it was the red one in mint, unplayed condition. And it wasn't cheap, but I had to have it. And so I got it, and I could not be happier. And so when it came in, there's the insert, nice and thick. When it came in, I saw the numbering, and I thought, wow, wait a minute, I read that this was only pressed as a limited edition of 100 copies. Why is it 300? So I messaged the band once again on Facebook and asked them, I said, hey, I just got a copy of this on red vinyl. I thought it was only 100, yet it's numbered to 300. Can you help me out? Which is it? And I can't remember which one it was, but I got a response back pretty quick and told me that the red vinyl is numbered up to 100 of 300, and then every edition, so number 101 of 300 on, are all the black vinyl editions. And I went, oh, okay, now that makes sense. So total on vinyl, there's only 300 copies, 100 red, 200 black. So, but anyway, okay, what are we talking about here? This is new wave of traditional heavy metal. Almost a, I don't want to say lo-fi production on here, but a very old school vibe of production on here when it comes to metal like this. The vocals, who is Jerry Razors, and that's this guy right here. has a very unique vocal and his voice. And at times, who he reminds me of is, in voice anyway, kind of reminds me of Dave Brockie from Gore. Um, doesn't sound like Gore. I mean, this is totally different. This is straight metal. Um, but he's got that voice. And so check these guys out. At first, when you first hear it, it's almost kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe a little slightly juvenile, kind of, so to speak. But man, you talk about grows on you fast. And I got obsessed with this. Love this album. I was so happy to find this. So this was a grail that I'll probably never ever let go of this, especially being so limited. But this band also has a new album coming out too. So if anybody can find this, you know, you can find the CD here and there. It was also released on cassette. The vinyl is going to be tough, but it's so worth it if you can find it. So Angel Sword, Rebels Beyond the Pale. So anyway, guys, I'm going to stop there because, like I said, I don't want to go too long. I'm already at over 20 minutes. So I'm just going to call it there. So until the next time, peace. Stay in the groove.